right, we'll get started with Alex Cobb. If you have a question, just raise your hand, and Josh has the microphones. Who's got the first question? We'll start with Hoynesy.
Alex, when did you find out you were starting?
Like 30 seconds ago. But I think that obviously I figured I was. I didn't officially get told, but was lined up perfectly through my bullpen, everything like I was pitching this game the whole time, but officially just got that word.
We sort of talked about this last week, but can you try to explain what it's like to basically be starting your season in the postseason? What that's like mentally?
It has its challenges. It's probably not how you draw it up to start the year, but feel like I've done everything I can to make sure that I've mentally stayed sharp. Gone over my delivery as much as I could with the long layoffs in between, and then I think even though it was only 3 innings in the DS series, it helped a lot to get back into that game action and feel the adrenaline of the postseason, and we'll be able to take that into my next start.
That's what I was going to ask you. What do you think you kind of found in that, or did you find anything in those 3 innings?
It's really hard to articulate what it is that a game situation does for you, but you can go through all the bullpens, live BPs you want, but until you get the adrenaline, the consequences of an actual game, it's hard to sharpen your stuff to that degree. So, being out there, maybe being a little bit quicker with your delivery than you normally would in a bullpen or a live BP. Those are all things that you just got to be out there to feel and to experience. So it just gave me game reps. Even though it was only 3 innings, it was game reps, and it I'll take all the reps I can at this point.
Other questions? Anything else for Alex?
Alex, did you when they made the trade for you, did you expect? I mean, I know two trips to the DL, but did you expect to get here and make the second start in the postseason?
No, I mean I fully anticipated at that point to make hopefully 10 starts in the second half. And then obviously be ready to pitch in the postseason, but that didn't go according to plan, and I've had to kind of make up as much as I can in the bullpens and the live BPs, but it's obviously dating back to spring training. I felt on pace to have a pretty normal season after the hip surgery, and just had setback after setback that didn't allow me to get on the field. So I don't think anything's gone quite like I expected it to this year. But to look up and to be in the ALCS and have an opportunity to set the tone early is something I'm going to cherish for a long time.
It's been a long year for you, obviously, in general, of just taking everything in. So is there an advantage at all to having this type of a season? Are you able to spin it in that way when you reach the postseason of, okay, none of these opponents have really seen me yet, and you can try to spin it in your own way for this being some sort of a positive out of all of it?
I think with a team like the Yankees, they've seen me plenty over the years. Most of the guys have at least. But I think the positive is that you've gone through all these adversities throughout the year, and you're sitting here and getting the ball in game 1 of the ALCS, and I don't think that there's much you got to look more towards than having that opportunity. So whatever's happened in the past this year has happened, and I'm just excited that I'm in the position I'm in right now.
Go to Ron.
Going to several organizations over the last few years, has there been anything you've had to learn about adjusting to different pitching coaches and different analytics staffs that might have different ideas from what they want you to do?
I think that most of the teams that have acquired me over the last few years kind of know the type of pitcher that I am, and are okay with the stuff that I bring, and sign up for that. But one of the biggest things you learn as a big leaguer is that you have to be your own best pitching coach, and that's going to be the only constant that you're going to have throughout your career. And being able to make the adjustments that you can take from game to game is what allows you to have a long career, and it also helps you deal with the changes year to year and personnel. Even if you're with the same organizations, coaching staffs change quite a bit. Lots of things change. So learning yourself, learning your own pitch calling, learning all those things is really important to figure out at an early age, so you can deal with all these changes that you're talking about.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else for Alex Wente?
Alex, are you surprised at all at what the Guardians have accomplished here, especially in the second half, going down the stretch?
I think I probably was from afar when I was, on the West Coast and looking up and seeing the position that they were in just after, the year they had last year. You could tell that they're a good team, but to be leading the division at that time of the year, I don't know about surprising, but it was, it stands out. And then, you look deeper into it and you see Voter and Albie at the top, and they're both just winners and everything that they do. And then you get traded over here, and it probably took me a game or two to look around and see how special of a team it is, each and every position, how good of defenders they are, how aggressively they run the bases, taking the extra bag, and then the competitive at-bats that they put up. So, and then you see the bullpen that they've put together. Every time they come out, you see the ERA on the board, and it's hard to believe that people are putting up those numbers in mid to late August. So it didn't take long to see that this is a team that belongs in the postseason and to make a deep run. But I think it took a little bit of time to being in a different league to realize that.
Anything else for Alex?
What kind of challenge does the Yankees lineup present?
A lot. I mean, top to bottom, they're experienced hitters. Obviously, the ballpark itself presents its own challenges. So, trying to keep the ball on the ground is big here. Trying to keep the crowd out of it's going to be big. Obviously, you want to not let the big 3-4 guys to beat you, but the bottom of the lineup presents its own challenges as well. So it's we know we got our work cut out for us, and we've the catching staff here and the coaching staff always put together excellent game plans, and you pitch your game, and then in certain situations you need to make a pitch or two that you've gone over that situation, and you just leads to just executing it after that.
Anything else for Alex? All right, Alex, thanks so much for your
All
time.
right.
Appreciate it. David Fry, I'll be down in a little bit.
I need to put this outside the shop. We don't do pull and spray.
All right, we'll get started with All-Star David Fry, who's got the first question. We'll start with Mandy.
Just to recap last night, can you explain what that feeling is like of clinching and celebrating? And I know you guys already did it twice, but to have your first one now in the playoffs, what is that like?
Yeah, I mean, pretty incredible. I was actually texting with my family earlier. Like, I still get like chills even today, like looking at the picture of me and Quan behind home plate when Lane's crossing after his grand slam. I mean, it was just so much fun, and hopefully get to do it a couple more times.
David, what allows you to, in Game 4, you hit the 2-run homer, then you drop down to bunt. What allows you to do that? What kind of skill set?
The homer is, I mean, luckily just got a pitch to hit and it ran into my barrel. The bunt is a lot of years of being bad at hitting in high school and early in college, where I weighed like 130 pounds, so I had to bunt quite a bit. But yeah, whenever Voter asked me, I felt good about the bunt.
Other questions, Mandy?
You guys all take pride in your defense. It would just, what kind of comfort level does it bring all of you to know that you have Rocchio and Gimenez up the middle in the infield?
Yeah, it's we talk about getting the ball to the Venezuelans. We want to get the ball to Rocchio and Gimenez. It's so comforting for us as players. I can't even imagine as a coaching staff if just like a ground ball's hit and we're like, okay, it's either 1 or 2 outs. Like we're making the play, and even with our outfield, I mean, Kwani's a Gold Glover. Lane runs everything down. I mean, whoever's in right field, it seems like John Kinsey's making a diving play every other night. I mean, our defense is, outside of our bullpen, kind of been like the backbone of our team, and it's just really fun to watch.
Questions for David? Whitey?
What have you learned about Cleveland in the time you've been here? And how much do you think this kind of postseason run has meant to the city?
Yeah, I think obviously it's huge. It's so cool to see how much they love their sports teams. I mean, even just like walking around, especially during football season, all the brownie stuff. But it was really cool to feel how, like, the atmosphere that we had in Cleveland this past postseason series. Obviously, I wasn't here in 22 when they were in the playoffs, but guys are kind of like, hey, you'll be surprised how loud it gets here. And it was like, there was just that different feel, and you could just, good like baseball feel too. It wasn't like you need a scoreboard to tell you, hey, it's time to get loud. It's like, no, they know there's 2 strikes, 2 outs. This is a big moment. A guy moves a runner over. The fans know that that's a good baseball play, and they're getting fired up, it's really cool.
The biggest strength of your offense, it seems like all season long, is that it could be anyone who's the hero on any given day. To know this past series that you guys did what you did with Jose had the 1 big homer, but then everyone else was stepping up. What can, if Jose gets hot at the right time, like what kind of offense can this then become on top of that?
Yeah, like you said, it's been a different guy every night, it seems like all year. But we were actually having dinner last night and kind of talking about it. It's so cool to see that. Like a guy like Brayan Rocchio has a huge series. Quan didn't get out all series, it seemed like. And then these last 2 weeks, Josh and Jose could just be like, hey, guys, come on. We're just going to win it for us. Like, they're that good. And so it's cool that guys who are role players pick up huge responsibilities in the playoffs, knowing that our 2 main guys can just pretty much take over whenever they want.
What do you think about the Yankees? During you saw them in the regular season, it didn't go great for you guys. But what problems do they present?
Yeah, they're a tough team. Obviously, they got the 2 big guys in Judge and Soto, but they have a deep roster, really good pitching staff, some veteran starters who have been around a little bit. But it'll be a really fun series. They're a good team, and we're excited for it.
You obviously don't know what it's like to take a ball 5 straight games in an ALDS series, but to imagine what it would be like for Cade Smith as a rookie. I feel like we keep driving this home, but just how impressive is it for you guys night after night to see what he's been able to do in no matter what situation?
Yeah, Hedgie did a great job of it on the bus the other day, talking about, because sometimes I almost think we take it for granted with how good he's been in the rest of our bullpen, but I think he was saying that I guess he set a record for strikeouts by a reliever in the division series. Like, he's a rookie. Like, he didn't even know if he was going to make the team coming out of camp. He's coming on the trip to Oakland, and it's like, hey, you may be on the roster, but we don't really know. and he's just unfazed by it all. He's in there folding his sweatshirt in between innings, acting like nothing's happening. He's setting records. Like, he's so good, and it's so fun to watch him because he's so humble and such a good guy. Couldn't happen to a better guy, and yeah, he's been so good.
How have you adapted to in the second half, mostly just to DHing?
Yeah, it's definitely different. Obviously, last couple of years, a big part of my role is playing different positions. But it's been good. Like, I've gotten good stuff from guys on the team and coaches of kind of how to adapt to that role. And me and Manzo going back and forth the past probably month or two, wherever, with the righty-lefty splits has been fun. Me and him just shooting it up in the dugout and just talking about how we're going to attack, whether he's pinch hitting for me or I'm pinch hitting for him, how we're going to attack a certain pitcher. And it's been fun.
All right, David, appreciate your time. Thanks so much. Have a great series.
Thank you.
Andres Gimenez will be down in a couple minutes. All right, we'll get started. On my far right is Brayan Rocchio. Augie Rivero is going to assist with translation. Andres Gimenez, who's got the first question. We'll start with Mandy on your right, guys.
Andres, for you, I know at the beginning of the year you were talking about how proud, you both had talked about how proud you both were to be up the middle from Venezuela, and it seemed like you were really excited to watch Brayan grow throughout the season. How fun has that been for you, and just still, how much pride do you guys take in being the two who are there?
No, it's been beautiful. I feel like the last series that we play 5 games, and he did great. So I'm really happy for him. Obviously, we always talk about, keep the teams going, and performance and play defense, run the bases in the right way, and I'm really happy for him, and hopefully he keeps in the same way.
And Brayan, for you, how much of a help has Andres been for you this year?
I mean, pretty awesome, because he's like my brother here in baseball. He helped me from the first day in spring training to here, how they play hard the game every day, including the bad days. So that's super special for me.
Other questions for Brayan and Andres? Pointy?
Brayan, why did you dye your hair? Is that just for the postseason?
I mean, it's just for style. I want to switch my hair and my look, and just for the moment.
You've played very well. Did you think it's connected?
I mean, maybe.
Other questions? Lauren?
Hi, fellas. This is for both of you. Well, all three of you, actually. Just, the narrative from the national standpoint is, that it's a smaller market. You're coming in with a bit of chip on your shoulder. How would you describe just the mindset going into this series, taking on, a big team in the New York Yankees?
Sabes que la narrativa a nivel nacional un poco que es un equipo de mercado pequeño, así que tiene algo que probar. ¿Cómo describen ustedes siendo del equipo? ¿Cuál es la verdadera mentalidad que tiene este equipo para que lo pueda hacer realmente todo el país que lo está viendo?
Sí, nosotros, como ella dice, es la narrativa. Nosotros dentro del club, la verdad es que no nos consideramos con esa narrativa. Nosotros siempre pensamos que podemos jugar el béisbol en el buen camino y podemos ganarle a cualquier equipo siempre que nosotros hagamos nuestras cosas. Tenemos muchísima confianza en cada uno de nosotros, en nuestro picheo, en nuestra ofensiva, en nuestro clubhouse, y yo siento que, como ella dice, es una narrativa y nosotros tenemos que hacernos los sordos con todo ese sistema, con todo eso que están dando, porque lo que importa realmente es lo que nosotros creemos dentro del clubhouse.
Yeah, just like you say, it's a mindset, because in reality for us is we believe we can do these things because we can do it through the way how we play the game, how we run the bases, how we pitch, how we try to hit the ball. So I think overall it's just this sense of belief that we can do it because we know we can play baseball the right way. So obviously the narrative can say a lot of things, but for us it's the mindset that we have trying to be the better version every day.
Brayan, you anything you want to add on that, or?
Algo que quieras decir?
No. We'll go to Mandy in the second row on your right.
Brayan, what do you think would you say is the biggest difference about your game today as opposed to the beginning of the season?
I mean, I don't feel nothing special. It's just the energy that we have in the whole year, and now that give me the time for play better baseball, you know, and help the team win. How we come play, that's super special for me, and that give me more
Confianza.
confidence on me.
Other questions?
Alex Cobb said this is the best defense in baseball. He might be slightly biased, of course, but what makes your defense so good, especially when it comes to the preparation?
Entonces, que Alex Cobb, como un veterano, dice que esta es la mejor defensa con la que él ha podido pichar durante su carrera. Dicen que quizás está un poco parcializado porque es su equipo, obviamente, pero ¿cómo pueden describir ustedes qué ha sido esa defensa que este equipo tiene y que ha mostrado durante toda la temporada?
Bueno, para mí yo creo que ha sido el trabajo que hemos venido haciendo, la rutina que hacemos todos los días, lo consistente, y tratamos siempre de no hacer más, sino tratar de asegurar siempre un out, de buscar la manera de ser seguro y no tratar de hacer de más.
I think it comes down to the preparation that we do and the routines that we establish from day one and how consistent we've been with it. And especially not trying to do too much. Always try to secure the ball, just get one out whenever possible. And I think that's what it comes out to results, to have that type of defense when you're able to just control the little things.
Like Ron Washington will hit 99 ground balls before every game. Is there something similar that you do that you can point to specifically?
Sabes que Ron Washington dice que da 99 rollings antes de cada juego. ¿Hay algo en específico que ustedes pueden demostrar que quizás esa es la rutina o la parte de su día a día que nunca falla, que les ha permitido tener el resultado que han tenido?
No, yo creo que es lo que tú crees que es necesario, lo que tú consideres que es necesario para ti mismo, que vas a estar 100% en el juego. Si necesitas 5 rolling ese día porque tu cuerpo no te lo permite, pues agarra 5 rolling, pero de que de esa manera estés al juego 100%. Yo creo que no hay un secreto, no hay un guión, no hay nada. Es solamente eso, tratar de saber qué tú necesitas para estar 100% en el juego.
I feel like there's no like one particular script or routine that is set in stone. I feel it's more about listening to our body, what we need for that day. And if that, that day means 5 ground balls, and then that's going to allow us to be 100% for the game, that's what we do. And next day we need to take 100 ground balls, that would be different. So it's all about what we feel is going to, and we need, and we know that's going to give us 100% during the game.
How long did it take you two to kind of get on the same wavelength defensively?
No, somos venezolanos, ya sabemos más o menos cómo nos conocemos, y de verdad que yo sé que Andrés es uno de los mejores segunda base, yo sé que yo puedo ser buen defensor, y ya teníamos esa química de pin training, y de verdad que se nos hizo muy fácil este año jugar de la manera que venimos jugando.
I think it starts a lot easier when you're Venezuelan. You kind of understand the way of playing of each other, and the way how we connect in spring training. I know he's the best second baseman in baseball, and I know I can be one of the best shortstops in the league, so that makes it a lot easier to understand the way how we play the game and how we envision the way of playing defense.
Does it feel like a big brother, little brother relationship?
Yeah, I feel like it. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I'm mad with him. Sometimes he's mad with me. But at the end of the day, we just want to push each other, I want him to be great on the field. I want him to be great off the field as well. So I think he won the same team for me. And for me, it's a pleasure, to be in the league and helping young guys to, improve and get better and, achieve some things. For me, it's really special. And, he's showing it. He's showing in the postseason what he's doing it. He's showing, what he's capable of doing. So I'm really happy for him.
Anything else? Hoisey?
Andres, it looked like early in the ALDS you were struggling offensively. You came on the last couple games. How are you feeling right now at the plate?
I'm feeling, obviously, yesterday was my best game on the game 5 of the series. But the first four games I was trying to do a little bit more of what I can do on the field. So game 5 was just try to be myself, try to be calm at the play, and get a good pitch to hit, and try to help the team in different ways. I try to bunt. I try to put the ball in play. So I feel like I have to keep that momentum going and try to trust my process.
Anything else for the guys? Yeah.
What did you guys think of the the atmosphere at home in games 1, 2, and 5. What have you? How can you describe how kind of Cleveland reacted to you guys?
¿Cómo creen que fue esa sensación y la energía que se vivió en los juegos 1, 2 y 5 en casa de parte de los fanáticos?
No, una cosa de loco. Una cosa de loco. Los fanáticos de Cleveland son súper especiales para nosotros porque siempre están ahí, a pesar de los momentos buenos y los momentos malos, siempre están apoyándonos y de verdad que para nosotros es un gran motivador. Sí.
Yeah, I think it was crazy. The energy was crazy and special to see how much support and love the fans show for us, especially when things were going well or when they're not going really well. So for us, it's like that extra motivation to keep going because the energy and the support is compared to none.
And for me, it was special. I've been in the organization for 4 years, and it was my first do or live game. Let's say like that. It was special for me. First game like that. Since first pitch, you can feel the energy. All the people were on the game, and it was special. I'm looking forward to see more of those moments at Progressive Field for sure.
One last one for the guys. All right, Andres, Brian, Augie, thank you so much.
you.
Appreciate it. Have a great series.